Hello, Reds from around the world. Welcome to your Wednesday night, which of course means welcome to your Wednesday edition of Wall of Reds. I just had to quickly remember that it is Wednesday because the way the world is, all the minutes are delving into each other and nothing matters or exists anymore. This could be Wednesday. This could be a Tuesday afternoon. This could be the 7th day in hell and I wouldn't even notice anymore. But we're here with wonderful Manchester United fans. It is utter bliss. We have a couple of newbies. We got Mark, who has a very interesting name underneath it. How do you say that? How do you say your name, Mark?
It's Sarfo 15 then. You can call me Marks, you can call me Sarfo. It's just, yeah.
Sarfo, yeah. Either one. Okay. Everyone, whoever is going around here, you pick Sarfo, you can pick Mark, whatever you're up to. But please give him the love in the comments, and as well, Callum, which is a lot easier name to say. We have Callum in the so please show love for our newbies coming in. And I think they might be going to the live chat, but if they're not in the live chat, just make sure they're welcome. And we have Jeff. Great to have you in the comments, Jeff. We'll get you back on the show soon. And the wonderful Jamie. Thanks so much for being here. And then, of course, Stuart and Andrew, who are on the show, but also here too. And a couple of others. Callum. Come on, Callum. There we go. That's teacher's pet right there. That's the favorite. All right. You have a lot of work to do, Kai, to get back to be favorite. Callum is it right now. So if you're watching from, please, like I said, get in the comments. Exactly. Come over to, we just got a love on Facebook. Please come over to YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. Once we get to 25 likes on this video, I'll be asking the question. The first 5 people to answer it correctly will be put into a draw for some Football Town apparel. So please come over, share the likes, share the views, and share the love. We will be discussing tonight the upcoming epic match coming up tomorrow night with Real Sociedad. What we want from the team, what we expect. For me, I want the dullest game possible. I don't want anything interesting to happen other than, a couple of newbies come in and do something. If tomorrow's night's game, I want it to be fun. I don't want it to be interesting, because interesting means they score 3. Okay, I want it to be a fun game where we win 2-1 or 3-1. That's fine by me. Okay, even I'll have to take a boring 0-0. I don't want an interesting game tomorrow night. If it is an interesting game, heads will roll. And no one important, probably people in this comment here. And for all those who are wondering why I might seem a little agitated, it's because the person I'm about to bring up next had decided to play on a certain sensitive issue in my life, which is, of course, my lack of love for the English national team. And despite Paddy's Day just being around the corner, he's coming on and he's flaunting the 3 lions on his shirt, which of course stands for nobody cares. But of course, Stuart, we're going to go to you first with what you're hoping for tomorrow and why you decided to upset me tonight.
Why have I decided to upset you? Patriotism, old friend. Patriotism. What am I expecting tomorrow night? Not a great deal, to be honest. I expect quite a few changes. I did say on the Q&A the other night that I thought Mata would probably come in. I'd like to see Bailly and Maguire and Henderson start tomorrow night, and I'd like to see those start away to Chelsea on Sunday. And then Tellers will probably come in for sure. I'd like to see Williams actually get a run out for Wan-Bissaka. Who will play as the deep holding midfielder? I don't know. Probably Matic. I think McTominay is still injured, isn't he? We know there's no Pogba, no Van der Beek. I'd like to see Martial get a run. Martial even get a run. Greenwood up top in the number 9 and Dan James. So I think it'll be a pretty boring damp squib of a game, to be brutally honest with you. So
nice one.
No dramas.
Yeah, same as me, Stuart. Was it just me who noticed that Stuart's Wi-Fi went insane, or was that my Wi-Fi? Just raise your hand because you're all muted. Just if Stuart's Wi-Fi was a bit off. No, was it fine for everyone? Does anyone want to answer? Okay, that's fine. It didn't look fine to me, but yeah, it was mine. That bodes well for the evening. What's this question coming in? Hi lads, what team would you pick tomorrow night? Well, Stuart's already picked it, so
No,
yeah. We'll discuss the big talking points of who we want in and who we hope to see, but mostly kids. No one interested. No one. That would be in a standard 11, please. Hama, coming to you now. What are you hoping to see from tomorrow night?
Well, I agree with most of what Stuart said in terms of his starting lineup, but I actually kind of want to see. Well, no, I would only want to see Ahmad starting. So I'd probably do a front 3 of Diallo, James on the left just because he's in form, and Greenwood up front just because I want to see him get a full 90 in the number 9 position. But yeah, I think, like you guys said, of course, I don't want anything overly insane to happen, but no, I want to see the kids play, and I want to see if Ahmad could do something out there.
Yeah, that's an absolute fair shout. A fair shout. I went Northern Irish there for a second. Yeah, I'd love to see, same as you guys. I don't think they're going to be starting, but they will be featuring. So I think we'll see what happens there. But we'll go to you. Who's now? Andrew, what are you hoping to see for tomorrow night?
So I agree with Stuart. I'd like to see Williams and Mata come into the side. With Maguire, he's only just was a yellow card away from suspension. So I think Ollie will bring in. I think he might bring in Twanzebe and buy into the centre of defence. So given our lead, I'd say United don't need to go all out for the victory, but we'll want to see a performance from the team. So I know we got Diallo and Shortiri in the squad, but I don't expect them to start. But I mean, if we're like up 2-0 or something, then he might bring him on to get him some more minutes. Another player that I've seen that's been in the squad is Ethan Galbraith. And from what I've seen of him and things I've heard, he's quite good as well. So it'd be good to see him get some game time as well. So just want to see a performance from the team and just make it an easy passage through to the next round.
Yeah, I just loved easy passage. As long as that is what's happening, then I'm more than happy. Coming to you now, Mark or Safra, whichever one you guys want to call him, please give him a warm welcome in the comments. Mark, what are you hoping for from the Reds for tomorrow night? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. Just touching on what Andrew said, I would like to see Galbraith, just because we lack a player of his profile. So I want to see if that translates into the men's game. So other than him, I would like to see Marshall get a start, just because I feel like Ole needs to play him into form, or we just need to get something from him going. But I don't really see him play like mixing it up too much with like the youngsters. So I do think it will still be like a decent strength side. But other than that, I can't really see too many changes other than sort of like Greenwood, maybe Matt coming in. Yeah, maybe Williams, Bailly. Yeah, other than that, I can't really see too many changes.
Okay, that's more than fair. Let me unmark you. And now, Kai, we've been missing you the last couple of weeks. Welcome back. And something that you confused me. You live in Holland, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're not Dutch?
No.
Ah, okay. Because I thought you were Dutch, and then you put into a group that you couldn't make one of the shows because you were taking Dutch classes. And I was like, what? I was like, are you just telling me lies? Is that the worst excuse? That's like me saying, I can't make a show. I have to take English classes. I was like, you can just lie better, you know?
Nah, you see, the thing is, I do need to actually write a Dutch exam to live here for longer than a certain period of time. So I've been here for a while, but from now I need to actually live here, so I need to take them Dutch classes. Luckily, I'm cool. Decent in it, so it's all right. It's all right.
Well, you're better than me anyway. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah.
Messi's never scored in the Premier League as well. Like
that's true. That is true. That is true. That is true. But anyway, Kai, what are you hoping for tomorrow night?
Well, for me, I think, look, tomorrow night, the only thing that for me that can come out of it is maybe a few young players getting a run out and a little bit of experience, specifically because I think Ole will respect them, because I don't specifically think that our first team has the right mentality to just kill off games or to just control a game and just end it maybe a 0-0 or so. So for that reason, I also don't think that our second strength team has the right mentality to also be able to do that same thing, which the first team can't do. So I think he's going to go with a starting 11, which he knows at least the first 45 to 60 minutes. We're going to go in, give him, a good game, make sure that we're solid, and then after that, then bring on the other teams, because I think Sociedad still isn't a bottom team. It's it's still a very good team. So and you know how our team gets when we're nervous. It's like, everyone on the pitch is as nervous as the actual fans, which is weird. So so I think he'll respect them first. I think it's a pity. I don't know if Donny is still injured actually. But it's a pity if he is, because I mean that would be a game also for him to also get a few minutes. But I think, look, we should still kill them on the counter. They're gonna have to attack. So they're gonna have to basically copy the tactical mishap that they did in the first leg, because they actually have to this time. So we might just still kill them on the counter, and the game might still go the same way. Actually,
Yeah. That'd be brilliant. I would really like if the game went the same way. I would really enjoy that. Except Bruno Fernandes doesn't get on the score sheet because he's not playing and he's not even near the stadium. We actually let him go back to Portugal for that day. He can't be near that stadium. And everyone, please, in the comments, we have another newbie on the show tonight, another virgin in one sense of the word, I suppose. Please give him all the love to the wonderful Callum. Thanks so much, Callum. Welcome to the show for the first time, and give us your thoughts on what you're hoping to see for tomorrow night.
Aye, all right. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I think it's nice to know that we don't really have too much pressure on us. I think we'll probably see Henderson start anyway. It'd be nice to see Williams as well. It feels like we've not seen him for a long time. And to be honest, I know Maguire's on a yellow card, but I think Ollie will probably still stick with him, although I wouldn't want him to. I think we'll probably see him and maybe Tuanzebe, and then Tellers at left back. I believe Fred and Matic are the only two centre mids that are fit as well at the moment. So probably them two in probably the pivot, and then you've got Matter up in the 10, I think. And then I'm a bit conflicted on who to start up front, because on one hand I'd like to see Greenwood start getting some goals, because he's actually not been in bad form. He just seems to be missing that last little bit of getting a goal to his game. But I also want to see Martial get some confidence in him again. So I'm a little conflicted. I'd probably put Martial on the left and put Greenwood up front, and then maybe I want to see Ahmad start. I've got to see what this guy's like, because I think if this guy's good, it could be the possibility of us not signing Sancho in the summer. So I think we've got to give him a few games, and we've obviously got a few young lads that we've took on the squad as well. So I'd like to think maybe Soraterio will get some minutes again, hopefully. I'd love to see Hannibal soon, but I believe he's injured for a little bit at the moment. So
yeah,
we bought him for £9 million from Monaco a couple of years ago, and I thought he might have had a sniff at the first team by now, and he doesn't seem to. So hopefully that changes soon, and we can start seeing how good he is, because he seems to be a generational talent from what he's been touted as anyway. So I mean, I'm just happy that we haven't got any pressure on us. It'd be nice if we could just kill the game off in the first 20 minutes, score an away goal, and then have an easy breezy game and chill out for the last part of it, and then all have a beer and just chill out, to be honest, because I'm sick of sitting on the edge of my seat watching Man United at the minute. Every time I seem to watch us, we play rubbish or we don't win the game. Yeah. And whenever I leave the room, we score. So it seems to just be bad luck for me at the minute whenever I watch United. So I might not even watch tomorrow. So if we win tomorrow, it's because I've not watched it.
So we all know from now on, anytime United lose is because Callum is watching the game, and anytime we win, it's when Callum has decided to fuck off. So please, in the comments, please tell Callum to fuck off. I'd really appreciate it. James, first comment is for you. There's a question here, well, more of a statement, or maybe a question. Did everyone know that James Ridge refuses to wash his hands after he does a wee-wee? That's a reliable source that seems to come up every time you're here. So thank you. Please, John, please keep them coming in. But James, coming to you, what are you hoping for tomorrow night?
I'm a bit thrown off by that. I want to see, whoever's not in contention to start for Chelsea, I want to see out on the pitch on Thursday. I think it's a good chance to give some of the players a much-needed rest, prevent any further injuries. And then I just want to see them play with freedom. They seem to have been playing a little bit reserved the last couple of months. I just want, you're 4-0 ahead. You can just go out there and show us what you can do, that sort of thing. So, yeah, just what everyone else has said about the youngsters coming in, it's obviously, well, it's sort of obvious, isn't it, that, there's no reason why we shouldn't be playing them. They're pretty protected by the scoreline. So, yeah, just playing with a bit of freedom and a bit of rotation in the team as well.
Yeah, Well, for myself, I'm always wary. I'm kind of thinking in two minds of what I want to do tomorrow. And is tomorrow actually an away game or is it at home? Because I genuinely have no idea. Is it?
It's
at home?
Yeah, it's
at home. But it's not at Old Trafford. It's somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it's at Old Trafford, I believe.
It's at Old Trafford. It's a home game. Yeah.
Believe it or not, the away goal still counts though for some reason, even though we played the other one at Turin.
Yeah, but that's what I thought that England. Oh, are England still allowed to play home games at home? On the English clubs, they only because every other country they're playing in neutral grounds for some reason. Well, not Italy. I think Italy are all right as well. It's very confusing.
First bit home today.
Yeah. So we've 4-0 away lead. There should be no difference. Sorry, that's you, Mark. There we go. Yeah. So for myself, there we go. Yeah, there we go. We got sorted. For myself, I am always a bit wary because, like 90 minutes, anything can happen. I just feel that I'm still in that mindset of with Man United where we could be 4-0 up, but still have the capability for that to be turned around. I always think of the game against MK Dons where we were 4-0 up. No, sorry, we weren't 4-0 up, but we lost 4-0 because we only played the kids. But I guess we learned a lot of lessons from that anyway, even though it was a good few years ago and it was stupid in the first place, Van Gaal playing just kids. But I look at the last game, which is the only kind of comparable game where we were 5-1 up or 5-0 up in the first leg. But like Sociedad are far better side than them, so we always have to be wary. I still think no matter who we put out there, we should win. But I want to see from, like, I don't know who said it. I think it was Hama. I think said it that from, have a reasonably good lineup up until 60 minutes and then do whatever you want. I kind of want to touch on someone as well. That's only mentioned here, so I was going to say Juan Mata as number 10 and Greenwood up front. We've said it before on the show. I've said it that he's the best player, the most underrated player that we've had post Ferguson. Definitely, probably the 21st century of Manchester United, the most underrated player himself and Carrick for what he did and what he's continued to do, and just continues not to get the reputation he should have. Same with us, same at Chelsea. But like it seems like this is the end for him. I think come to the time of United, but is this the only game where you can imagine him starting into a role for him at the club? Like a game that is a rubber header? Who just left there? Mark just left. Is he just here for rubber header, or like can you still see a role for Juan Mata in what will probably be his final few months at the club? I'll come to you. I'll let Mark back in, then I'll go to you, Stuart. Okay. Cool. Take it.
No, I said in the Q&A show, I think he'll pop up in the MLS next season, probably with Phil Neville at Inter Miami. Although he has been linked with AC Milan, I noticed this morning, and a couple of other clubs. But no, I think his time's up. I think he probably came to our club at the wrong time. I mean, David Moyes signed him for Christ's sake, and he's got no flair in his play. But what I would like to do is see him come back as a coach, a technical coach, because from a technical ability perspective or point of view, he's probably the best at the club in terms of his first touch, etc. So I would like to see him at that. So I think he's probably, as much as it pains me, because I do like him and I do rate him as a footballer, he's probably had his time. Just touching on Sociedad, by the way, tomorrow night. There is a possibility, however slim, that they've written the game off themselves and could well come with a weakened side. They're sitting third in the Spanish league at the minute, so who knows? It could well be they look to write the game off themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And my Wi-Fi went mad and I couldn't hear a word you said there, but I'm going to trust that usually you say wonderful things, Stuart. So I'm going to say great job again.
Hammer will back me up. He'll tell you if I've said anything good or not.
Still heard nothing because my Wi-Fi is going crazy on you for some reason. But I'm going to again take your word for it and say that was hilarious. Hama, coming to you now, my friend. For Juan Mata. Obviously, is this the only role he has at the club as being like someone that can, as an elder statesman, that can see out a game that's already over, or do you think there's any future for him at the club?
No, yeah, I saw when they talked about this in one of the last shows, and I thought, I think he's still always going to have a little bit of magic in his left foot because it's just it's a ridiculous left foot. But I think it's his time really, and I think actually I didn't even think of the MLS before, but what Stu said, I could see that happening too. So yeah, I think just in one of these games where the game's pretty much over and he can come in to be kind of like that experienced guy, because when the young people get a chance and he can kind of give them some stability. But yeah, no, I think not only just because of his time and his age, but I think the people who came into his type of position, there's not much of a role left for him.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna go Callum. It's moved around a bit. Callum, I'm coming to you now. What are your thoughts on Juan Mata, what he has been at the club? Because we have obviously never heard your opinions on him before. And do you think there's anything that he can offer going forward? And guys, I haven't said it in a while. Wherever you're watching this, please come over to YouTube, give it a like in the video. I'm not sure what we're at, but we want to get to 25 likes on this video, and then I'll ask a question. The first 5 people answer the question will be put into a draw for Football Town apparel. So please like this video. Sorry, Callum, over to you now.
I think he's got a future. You know, I would probably see him leaving for like a team like Inter Miami or something like that. But I think he's the perfect example of a squad player at the minute, and he's got such flair in his foot, and he's got such experience that we need. Like the other day on the Q&A, we were saying about how we need to bring in some winners. Juan Mata's won pretty much everything. So I think having him around the squad's vital to the likes of the young players, and keeping him around, I think, is something that we should look to do. I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to leave, to be honest, but I definitely wouldn't look at selling him. I think it was earlier on in the season, he had about 5 games in a row where he was brilliant. It was like watching him from a few years ago. I think Stu's probably right though, to be honest. We probably did buy him at the wrong time. David Moyes bought him, which it seemed a bit of a panic buy because we couldn't get Fellaini in the summer because of all sorts of whatever. But I think we definitely should probably look at maybe extending his contract another year at least. Anything after that, then maybe we should start looking at getting rid. But I'd probably look at maybe getting rid of Matic in terms of if we were to look at a midfielder to get rid of, because I think he's as progressive as he can be. He's a very slow, static player. I think sometimes Matic, and I think out of the two, you'd probably keep Mata and maybe look at getting rid of Matic and keeping Mata's experience around, to be honest.
Yeah. My computer just had a mare there. I've no idea what you said, Callum. I got kicked from my own thing. My internet went down. I was sitting here screaming on my computer, wondering what the hell was going on. And now I'm back in and everything's working. So whatever you did, Callum, your words made it work.
Brilliant, I think.
Yeah. So, guys, wherever you watch this video, please give a like on this link. Give us your views, give us your thoughts on Juan Mata, share the love on him, but also help me get to 25 likes so I can ask you a question that will lead you to host possibly winning some Football Town apparel. Andrew, coming to you now, spread your love. What are your thoughts on Juan Mata, and has he got a future at the club?
So Mata, he's become like the forgotten man of late. I mean, he only has one appearance in 2021, which came in the 3rd round of the FA Cup against Watford. It certainly feels like it's going to be his last season. His contract is expiring in June, and United have the option to renew it, but they haven't opened talks as yet, so it doesn't seem likely they're going to. We'd like the younger talent coming through, like Shotiri and Hannibal. It's pushing Mata further down the line. I mean, to his credit, this season he's got 3 assists, which is even one more than Pogba this season. I mean, his best game for us this season, if I remember back, was against the away game against Newcastle, the 4-1 win. But it's when we've struggled against teams where they've sat back and we've struggled to break him down, he could be useful to bring on and open those pockets of spaces and offer that creativity. I mean, Mata should be used more. He's capable of making a difference. I mean, he's no longer a starter, but he does have the ability to change games from the bench. I mean, he showed that last season in the Europa League semi-final against Copenhagen, where their goalkeeper was having a worldie and Mata came on and provided the key to unlocking the goal. But I like Juan Mata. He's just one of the nicest players at United, and I would be sad to see him go. But I would renew his contract for another year because I think he can, behind the scenes, help out the youngsters, develop them, and still get a few games for United. But we'll have to see what United decide to do with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Sorry, I'm trying to take you off. There we go. Kai, coming to you now. Oh, well, going to Andrew again. Kai, coming to you now. What are your thoughts on the great Juan Mata? How do you think of his legacy that he's leaving at the club, and how do you see these final? Look, we all know it's the final few months. How do you see them playing out?
Yeah, to be honest, I think he is at the end of his career now. And look, the reason I say that is like, it's not, I think the game has changed a little bit with some of these swan song type of players, you know, where they're a little bit older, but they still have a lot of skill with the ball and whatever in the Premier League specifically, because the game passes you by. And a lot of the times with Mata, it's kind of like a toss up. So if he comes in, you know that if you put him in a certain position, he's not going to do anything defensively. He's just going to be played around generally. So you have to kind of decide whether that's what you want. And then the teams with those type of, you know, older players, like I think Leeds have, I think Hernandez, and I think maybe Sociedad have David Silva. They actually, you know, at Leeds, Hernandez doesn't play. And at Sociedad, they literally just build the team around making sure that they, you know, they have the legs for David Silva to actually be able to play the game. So you have to kind of decide which side you're really on with one. And I think now in the Premier League, it's clear that you can't have him playing at number 10. You can't have him playing on the right-hand side. You also can't have him coming in to save a game and be 100% sure that it's going to work. It's too much of a gamble now with one, because he doesn't have the legs anymore. But amazing player. He's someone who I've always respected, who I love to watch. I think he's got the most beautiful technique. I think he can, he can control anything. You know, ball coming in from the air, he's brilliant at it. But I just think now everything that happens in his brain doesn't happen at the same time as his feet are doing it, and you can clearly see it. So I don't want to see a Juan Mata which I'm going to be like, oh no, look, he's getting old, or he's like this. You know, I think Juan knows it, and I think Ole knows it, that, you know, it's getting to that time. So his role has to kind of change. But also what you won't have is a Juan Mata that earns more than everybody just sitting on the bench, so that just to give hugs to the younger players. So I think you really have to decide now what you do. You know, if he's to stay, then at some stage he has to play, but then he becomes a bit of a liability or whatever. But love him as a person, but not in this intense game. It's so clear that he's just going to be a big liability on one side, you know. So
Yeah, absolutely. James, coming to you now. I don't know if we've really gone into detail on your thoughts on Juan Mata, so I'd love to hear what you feel about him being at the club, and what, it's 7-8 years now, which feels like a lot longer than that, if I'm being honest, and also at the same time a bit shorter. What are your thoughts of his time at United? Are we seeing the final few months of him? Obviously he's going to play tomorrow, but is there any other role we can have from other than someone that come in and fill a gap with a bit of experience?
Yeah, probably that's about it. I don't know how long he'll stay. Obviously, he's not at retirement age yet, so if he still wants to carry on playing and move abroad, then that's fair enough. But you know, I feel sorry for him in a way. I think we've done him a little bit of a disservice, given how good of a player he was when we came in, and then he's never really reached those levels again. You know, I think he could have gone on to do a lot better. You know, maybe if he stayed at Chelsea, we'd be talking about one of the Premier League's best ever players with the numbers he was putting up. But you know, he's been a good servant. He's always done what's asked of him. You know, his physicality he's not sort of matched the Premier League's level for physicality in the last few years, which is sort of the reason for his sort of depletion in performances. But yeah, I think having him in the dressing room is going to do you no harm. I think the wages he's on is probably the only factor that would probably sway you towards getting rid of him, because he's on quite a lot, and obviously with COVID, the money's a bit tight at the minute. But yeah, he'll be having a positive influence on everyone in the dressing room, which is worth probably as much, if not more, of the wages that you're paying him. So you know, whatever happens, I think he'll go down as sort of a cult hero at United, especially for what he did at Anfield that year. And I don't think anyone can have any wrong feelings towards him, whatever he chooses to do.
James, just before I go on and ask Mark about his thoughts on Juan Mata, just wondering, where do you think, we'll say Juan Mata's career, I can't imagine him staying in the Premier League after this season. I imagine, like Stuart said, MLS, or it could be somewhere in Spain, but it'll be a lower standard. What do you think? How do you think he'll be remembered for his time in the Premier League? Is it someone who was constantly portraying quality, or is he just someone who had a couple of good seasons, mainly at Chelsea?
I think he'll be remembered as a very classy player, very technical. He'll go down in that David Silva, Cesc Fabregas sort of mould of a player who sort of helped evolutionise English football into what we're seeing today and the technical game it is. I don't think he'll leave the same legacy as Silva or Fabregas, but he's without doubt a Chelsea legend. He's probably not a United legend by any means, but I mean, just for the stuff he did at Chelsea, I think he will be remembered as one of the better players the league's ever seen. And yeah, he would. I don't see who'd want him if he left United though. So I don't think he'd stay in the Premier League any longer.
Yeah, I agree. Mark, coming to you now. Give us your thoughts on. We've obviously just first time you've been on the show. Give us your thoughts on Juan Mata's time at United, and also what you hope to see from him for tomorrow and for the future.
I think he'll be viewed as a successful signing. When he first come to United, his first 2 or 3 years, maybe even 3 or 4 years, he was averaging around 10 goals a season, and he was always someone you can count on to get goals from midfield. But I feel like as time has progressed and Ole's come in, we've seen the sort of way he wants to play in terms of intensity and having a vibrant team. I'm not too sure he kind of fits that sort of blueprint. I mean, if you look back at the Istanbul game, I think the first goal, I think he gets pressed and he loses the ball and they go on to score. And it's just like little things like that where it makes you think his time might be coming to an end, just because with other players, like we've got Van der Beek, who also needs minutes, and we have sort of youngsters coming into the squad who you feel like could be better suited for what Ole wants moving forward. So I do think this might be his last season. But that being said, I feel like he might be offered like an ambassador role. Like, I don't think he'll be offered a coaching role, but I think he'll be like an ambassador. He'll get given like an ambassador's role. But I think he'll be remembered as a really, really good player. I mean, a lot of people remember him for his bicycle kick at Anfield, or Onefield, should I say. But I think he will be remembered as someone that's really classy. Funny enough, like, even though he wasn't a United player at the time, he could be remembered as someone that probably brought out the best save that David De Gea's ever made for United. I mean, at Stamford Bridge, De Gea pulled a worldie of a save from that free kick. And that's
right, yeah.
That could be something that people remember Juan Mata for. Even though it wasn't in a United shirt, but obviously it's Juan Mata. But I think he'll be remembered as one of United's best post-Fergie signings, because he's been brilliant, man. Even like down to like little things like his blogs, that fans was loving that and whatnot. So I think he's just been, all in all, a top man, a top player. But I think it's about time. I think it's the right time to let him go, especially with the wages he's on as well. And United tend to do these things where they never tend to let the players go at the right time. They always tend to hold on until it's like clear that the player can no longer contribute something. But I think now would be the right time to let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. And perfect way to finish that on Juan Mata. We're going to keep going around now. Make sure to mute yourself. There we are. Guys, I'm not sure. I think we're like 6 or 7 likes off the goal of 25 likes for this video for me to ask a question that would lead to up to 5 people who've been put into a draw for Football Town apparel. So please, wherever you're watching, please come over, view the video on YouTube, give the video a like, and give us and get in the comments and be lovely. So we're going to continue with discussing again tomorrow. We had a little tribute to Juan Mata, a player that has well deserved it. even just for that goal against Liverpool at Anfield. But he did tend, I think he scored against all the top six, the traditional top six in his time here. So like credit for that, because apparently that's what Bruno gets destroyed for not doing enough. I think we should give credit to Juan Mata for someone who did it, you know. And obviously I'm being sarcastic, trying to make fun of tear down Bruno, who is the best player in the world. So James, we're going to move over to you now. With the game tomorrow, we're in a kind of unique situation where, of course, we are basically true. I'm still terrified, but we're basically true. But we have a big game against Chelsea on the weekend, who obviously got a very important win last night through an incredible Giroud goal. Did he score against Chelsea? Chelsea weren't in the top six; they came 10th in a season, so they don't count. So with the game coming up with Chelsea on Sunday, and Chelsea are playing a game last night, should we be what are we hoping for the players tomorrow? Is it to fight to get into that team, or is it just fight for positions later on? Because obviously it won't be the starting 11. And how beneficial will this rest be for a lot of our players, do you think? Where are you, James?
Well, I mean, obviously it's going to be pretty crucial. A lot of these players haven't had a rest at all. Like Bruno gets half a game rest, and then we have to bring him on to rescue the game. So I think if you can give him 90 minutes, then that would be ideal. But yeah, I don't think, other than maybe Dan James, because he's on a good little bit of form, I don't think any players are playing for their place against Chelsea. I think that it's too big of a game to be making unnecessary changes just based on one game against Sociedad. But you know, it's a good chance to show what they can do. I don't know how much it will have an impact. Obviously, we saw even Lingard got a few goals in the Europa League last season, and it didn't really change anything. So I'm not too sure. I think it'll be more for the youngsters to prove what they can do. Obviously, it's a shame that Hannibal won't be playing, because I think this would have been a good opportunity for him to sort of set his stall out and show Solskjaer what he's about. But yeah, I think it's probably a bigger game for the youngsters than the players that are sort of hitting their prime. I just think they should just be grateful for the run out, and just try and make sure we actually go through, because nothing's guaranteed yet, is it?
No, absolutely dead right. Like I said, I am very, very not convinced about tomorrow. Although I feel like we have the perfect opportunity, as I believe Andrew said, I can't remember, because said it, that they will have to open themselves up to be defeated. And we could ultimately score a lot of goals against them. So it is in our favor, but we still have to play well. So going to Hammond next. For the game tomorrow, James is fairly adamant that no one will be playing into the Chelsea team, but it is an opportunity for people to impress. And who are you hoping to see impress?
I agree with James on that. I don't think anybody playing tomorrow expects to be having a chance to play against Chelsea. I do want to see if James can kick on. I definitely think he's going to be starting again. And if you do want to say that they're going to open up because they have to, well, that's exactly what James would be able to excel at. And I think I did say in mine earlier on, I do want to see Diallo potentially start, but definitely get play, a decent amount of playing time. Then I want to see what he can actually do, right? I think, what did he only get, like 5 minutes or something at one point? I want to see what he does with a little bit of time to actually do something, take on some people. And if he gets an opportunity to get some shots on a goal, and see if he can put something in the back of the net.
Yeah. 100%. Going to keep coming to Callum, who's on a roll tonight. What are you hoping to see from tomorrow night? Sorry, someone's making a lot of noise. From the players, are you hoping to see that some people can fight into the first team, and who are you hoping to see that can come in and impress?
Realistically, I think there's probably only a couple of players fighting for the places for Sunday. I think you probably look at maybe Baye if he starts. And I think Ahmad, if he comes in as a stormer tomorrow, he'll probably end up starting on Sunday. I think this is the kind of game that Ollie wants to put him in, because he's new to the country, and he needs to sort of get some games under his belt anyway. So if he's this guy that like Fabrizio Romano, whatever his name's called, says he is, if he's as good as he says he is, then if he goes and plays amazing tomorrow night, he could play amazing on Sunday as well. So I think there's only a couple of players that are probably playing for the places, but I think most of them probably know the role and know that they're more of a squad player. I just hope, like I say, it's 4-0 up. So hopefully we'll just storm it way through it. And, you know, even if they go and score 3 goals, we've only got to score once and they've got to go score 6, haven't they? So get an early goal, put the game to bed completely, and just let all the fringe players and squad players just have a game for a change, because I don't want to see Bruno play. I'm sick to death of him having to come on and rescue games. I don't want to see Maguire play, because I think he's played every game for the past 20 years for Man United, it feels like. I want to see Henderson play, definitely. But, to be fair, Henderson could possibly, if he has a good game as well, he might actually end up starting on Sunday, because there's still that debate, isn't there, of whether him or De Gea is going to be the number one. Personally, I think he'll probably be number one next season, not this season. And all this talk of him leaving for 40 million is total shite, to be honest. But we'll wait and see on that one. That's a debate in itself, isn't it, really?
Oh, perfect. So, guys, sorry, I can't tell if the layout is right. There we go.
Assuming his internet's dropped out.
Taking over the show, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Kai, do you want to just build on what everyone else has said?
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Sorry.
I was about to take over, Joe.
Go ahead, Kai. Whatever James asks you, go ahead.
What's your question, Joe?
I can't hear anything. Hi. Kai, what are you hoping for tomorrow night? Who are you thinking worked their way into the team for the weekend?
I'm hoping for no event, no sudden events. As you said at the beginning, no surprises, just a solid game. Also, I'm actually hoping for Harry Maguire to get a rest. Goodness me, he plays every single game, and he's someone that people really never talk about in terms of his general fitness and his and the fact that he's always playing all the time. So I'd be happy if someone like that got some rest, even if it's just, a few, 30 minutes or something like that, because he literally has, whoever, no matter who's injured, he plays with. Even if no one's injured, he still plays the game. So, yeah, that's my biggest hope, actually, for tomorrow. If Donny's fit as well, is to see Donny as well in the team. But just an eventless game, a few youngsters in there, Ahmad breaking some ankles. I'm excited for that. So that's it's for me, it's all about the Chelsea game. That's what it's about.
Perfect
For me.
The Chelsea's game. And for Jamie who's wondering, am I okay? Yes, I am. My internet is just playing up right now at the moment out of the blue for no reason, as it was perfectly fine beforehand. So I actually can't hear what anyone is saying when it comes on to them. So if I don't know what's going on, that's why. But I'm doing my best to listen, because I'm a good listener. If anyone's interested in getting with me. Stuart, you've been demoted all the way down to the bottom. Give us we've discussed what you're hoping for tomorrow. Do you expect to see a couple of people that are going to be playing to their team in a couple of weeks' time? You're obviously Thierry and Ahmed are not going to be starting, but are going to be on the bench. Are you hoping to see them, and you hoping to see them maybe making a game of it in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, well, what I would say is if you haven't impressed the manager now, you're not going to impress him between now and the end of the season. So come in, do your job as a Manchester United player and get the win. I'd love to see Ahmed play. I'd like to see Thierry get a lot more time on the pitch. Look, I would say if we're 2 or 3-0 up, you'll see more minutes for the likes of Ahmed and Thierry. Like I said earlier, I'm under no illusion that they may well have written the game off themselves because of their league position. So there's a very good chance the game itself, you'll see 2 weaker sides. It just depends how they view the Europa League. We've really got to concentrate on Sunday. So Sunday's a critical game for us. I mean, Chelsea got a good win last night. They're not conceding goals at the minute at an alarming rate as which they were. So let's just do a job tomorrow night, kick off, get the win, and just take it from there. But yeah, if you haven't impressed now, then you're not going to impress. So
perfect. Coming to you now, Mark.
Yes.
We're going to see a lot of kids coming in. What are you hoping to see from them? You're going to expect to see a lot of them tomorrow, and do you expect them to play themselves into the team over the next couple of the games?
I think it will probably be maybe Ahmad will probably come in. I think most likely Greenwood will start. But that being said, I think going from tomorrow's game, I feel like there's a couple places up for grabs for Sunday, just because the shape that Chelsea play, being 3-4-3, Ole will probably want to match them. So I do feel like there might be a spot up front if we do go 3-5-2 with Rashford. So I think there might be a spot up front up for grabs. I also think defensively, it's going to be interesting to see if we do go to a 3 at the back for Sunday, whether it will be Maguire, Bailly, and Shaw at centre back with Tellers at left wing back, or whether it's Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, and then Tellers left wing back. So I think there is a couple of spots up for grabs for Sunday, which tomorrow could be an audition for. I don't expect us to play like a full strength side, but I do think like there will be some places up for grabs. So maybe like Martial could place way into the side if Cavani's not fit. But other than that, I don't really see too much changes for tomorrow. I feel like we may try and win the game first 40, 45 minutes, and then sort of make some changes. But a question: how many subs is it during the Europa League? Is it 5 or is it 3?
5.
5. Yeah, I think we might play like a mid to strong side, just because whenever we make wholesale changes, the quality drops from our team completely. I don't want to see Bruno. Bruno shouldn't even be at Old Trafford. He should be at home with his feet up, playing with his daughter. So he shouldn't be anywhere near Old Trafford. But other than that, if we can get maybe 20 minutes from Ahmad or Shore, that would be great.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to ask a question. We're going to be closing up now. I'm going to go around to everyone and asking them what their predicted result is for tomorrow night and who the first goal scorer is. But before I do, the question I'm going to ask everyone is, what's the Europa League? Okay, I'll give you an easy one since it's Wednesday evening and we need a rest. Who did we lose to in the semi-final of the Europa League last season? They're nice and easy, fresh and breezy. First 5 people answering in the comments will be put into the draw for some Football Town apparel. And we're going to start with James. We're going to go around. Tell us the type of game you're hoping for tomorrow. You expect to see tomorrow. Final goal scorer. No, first the result and the final goal scorer and the first goal scorer, please. He's them all over the place. Sorry, James, go ahead.
I think if we put out the rested lineup that we want to put out, then I think we'll be on the back foot for most of it. I think they'll play for a bit of pride, so I won't be too disappointed with that. I'll go with a 1-1 draw, because I do think if we put out a second string team, we'll lose, but I can't say we'll lose because that's too negative. So I'll go 1-1 draw and then Isaac to score for them first.
Cool. Hammer, for yourself?
I mean, I think, I would like to see us win. And I think it was Mark that said that there is a potential for Ole to still, because of the amount of subs, put obviously not a strong, but a mid-strong team out. So I want to see us win. So I'm going to go 2-1 because I said Mason was going to start. So I think Mason is going to get the first goal.
Cool. Callum, for yourself?
It depends on the type of game they play, like Stu said. I think if they sort of write it off and don't really care, I think it could be quite an open game. I think if they do go for it, their defence is a bit naff. then I reckon we could end up smashing a few goals against them again. I think it'll probably be 3-1. Maybe Mata getting the first goal. But I think it depends on the type of game they want to play, because, you know, they are fighting for Champions League in their league as well. So will they just bin it off and just say, right, let's focus on the league, a bit like we are, to be honest. Obviously, we're a bit higher up, and I could say we were in the title race, but, you know, after losing to relegation fodder and another Sam Allardyce team, we're not in a title race anymore. So I don't really know. I think it'll probably be 3-1. Probably. But I think the 3 goals for us will probably come in the second half after they've sort of lost the tired legs and things like that. So yeah, that's what I'll go with.
Andrew, for yourself?
So, well, we don't have to go out all out for victory tomorrow, given the lead we have. I mean, for Ali, I think for him it would be the performance he gets from the players, whoever he picks. I mean, Real Sociedad, they're playing for pride. They want to show what they're capable of, and I think it's going to be a much closer game this time. But I'd say it's going to be 2-1, and I see Greenwood scoring the first goal.
Cool. Kai, for yourself?
Kind of the same feeling as the lads, but I think he'll go with a solid starting lineup just to, you know, sort the game out, get it out the way. I think we'll catch them on the counter. We always concede, so something like 3-1 out. I'm gonna go for. There's really not much else to say about this game, actually. I don't know. I'm just waiting for Chelsea. That's all.
Okay. Stuart, for yourself?
I don't think it'll be anything to write home about the game. So 2-0. First goal scorer, probably Greenwood. But I'm with the lads, to be honest. It's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, I just 2-0 Greenwood.
Yeah, perfect. Mark, for yourself?
I think it's going to be a low quality game there. I think if Sociedad continue to play,
Oh, he's gone. Okay. All right, guys. That has been our show. It's been a weird one, I won't lie. But it's been good. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. Wherever you're watching in the world, please come over to All For United. Please subscribe to the channel. Please follow on Twitter. Please make sure to follow all these fine gentlemen as well. Find them at their homes if you need to, and get in with them. Thanks so much again for joining. What day is it? It's Wednesday. Join us tomorrow for the current match and all the post-match reaction with Temi, I think, who has it tomorrow, so make sure to join for that. And then, of course, for everything that happens over the weekend, it's All For United, and make sure to find us here. Thanks so much. Have a lovely middle of the week and rest of your week, and I'll see you Sunday when we'll be back, same time and the same channel. All the best.